Hello everyone, this chapter is about using latex to generate documents in IEEE formats. Before going on further, you should have installed latex in your computers. In this tutorial, I also create a directories, so-called images directories, in the working directories. I will show you the directories. So this is my working directories. This is the images directory I'm talking about. Inside this images directories, I have all the graphics, all the figures. The next thing I'm going to do is to create the documents in IEEE formats. To do that, the very first thing I will do is to bring up the latex windows. So let's say I remove this. I'm going to start from scratch. The first command you need to enter is this one, /documents. This one is not the same as the /document class for other non-IEEE documents. In this case, I have to specify the document is in IEEE transaction format. Here, you can either choose box, article, journals, conference. You can also specify the font size, and you can also tell latex whether your paper is one columns font or double columns font. The next thing I'm going to do is to do exactly the same thing as I do for other non-IEEE documents. Begin documents and end documents. The next thing I'm going to do is to add titles. For the documents. And I can also add one section in the documents. This is so-called introduction sections. I can add one more sections. So-called methods. I can add one more section. So-called results. I can add one more section. Discussions. And finally, I can generate a section for the conclusions. So this is the kind of document is very similar to the paper written in IEEE formats. Then, most likely, we need to take care of the format of the articles. In this case, I can reformat it with the left margin equals to 12 millimeters and top and right margins equals to 10 millimeters. So I will have articles like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to add figures. To be able to do it, I need two packages. Sorry. I also need to tell Latex where the graphics is, where the figures are. They are all saved in the images directories, which is inside the working directories. Now I can add the figures. For instance, I have the figures in the method sections. So I have the nice figures in the method sections. The next thing I'm going to do is to reference the figures in the text. To do that, I need to add captions to the figures, and also I need to add labels together with the labels identifier. These two commands will be added between the begin figures and end figures text. So let's see. I didn't do it. Copy. So in documents, create and documents begin. So I don't need this. Okay. Okay. Now I can reference the figures. In this case, I will do it here. And see, 15 figure reference experimental setup. Don't worry about that now. Let's do it by copy and paste. And this is the problem. Okay, done. So I managed to generate in text referencing of figures. Now I'm going to generate a group of figures, a group of subfigures within a figures. Before being able to do it, we need to include some important packages. In this case, we need subcaptions. And with these subcaption packages, with this subcaption package, I should be able to generate captions for each subfigures. So again, let's check. I got it in the conclusion. Let's see. Do it again. Always have some problem. Caption, subcaption. Okay. Yeah, that's where the problem is. Sorry. Okay, and in each subcaption we don't need to fill in anything, then you automatically come up with the subcaptions. Okay, and then I can also insert reference or figures in the conclusion. So this is what is done. The next thing I'm going to do is to add equations. Before doing this, I need a package, AMS Math. Then I will be able to add equations. And then I'm going to label the equations. Here I can also generate reference the equations as well. So if I do that, I have the equations here. Equation 2. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to add Greek letters. I'm not going to do too much of. So here I have beta, alpha, gamma, and epsilons. All these Greek letters have to attach with a backslash. Likewise, I can also do that in the text. But to do that, I need to have the dollar signs, double dollar signs for the symbol. Between two dollar signs, I can type in the sample, which may contain Greek letters or non-Greek letters. So here we go. And I can also generate subscript or superscript in the equations, and I can also do the same in the text. So this is what I got. I can also generate summation size and integral size. Summation and integrals. I can also use fractions. Or fractions. Here, this makes sense. Fractions or fractions. So this is fraction or fractions. The next thing I'm going to show you is to generate a separate files. To do that, you need a package, so-called file contents. And you also need to add the files. In this case, I have /begin file contents, and then followed by the name of the files, and obviously you need the /n file contents tag as well. Between these two tags, I need the file contents to be typewritten here in text. And make sure all this command should be done between the begin document and end document text. The next thing I'm going to show you is to generate reference in IEEE formats. So to do that, the very first thing you need is to include the package zip, and then enter a list of reference manually. And these references have to be included between the slash begin the bibliography and slash end the bibliography text. So let's see what happens. So exactly as I expected. And also you can also generalize in text citation of reference. For example, I will do it here. So discussions. So I've got exactly what I was trying to do. The next thing I'm going to show you is another way of generating IEEE reference. But to do that, you have to remove, undo the method, the first method of referencing. So you have got this list of reference in the beginnings. You have to remove it now. And you also need to remove the zip package. Instead, use these two packages. BIP Latex and file contents, but I have already got file contents, so I only need BIP Latex. The next thing I'm going to do is to create a file. And the file name of the file is ended with .bib. In this case, I use /job name to represent the file. For this project 1. So the next thing I need to do is to create the contents of the file. The content of this .bib file is basically the definition for the references. In this case, I have a book here. I have an article here. And I have another article here. In this method, you don't need to know the exact format of IEEE formatting. The system will automatically compile a list of reference for you in the right format. So If I'm going to print out this reference, I will use this command. Before doing this, we have to tell Latex you have the bit file / job names in the working directories. This / job names represents the files associated with project 1 here. So if I do this, I will have my documents, and I will also generate another files with the file names associated with project 1. This file will have a extension BIB. Sorry, it shouldn't be this one. It should be another one. I should delete this one. And this one as well, I will delete it. And also another file contents which I have created earlier should be deleted as well. Okay. Let's check again. So I go to file. Let's do it again. Yes. Content name. Latex. Got it. Let's see if it works. This way will work. Okay, you have to have citation or reference before they will generate the list of reference for you. Here, I've already got this in here. So everything is working now. Thank you.